And there we go. Zulma Gonzalez, this mic is all yours.
Hey, a magnificent and majestic and momentous and memorable Monday to each and every only one of us.
There we go. Zulma Gonzalez, this mic is all you.
Uh-oh. I just heard that twice. Okay.
It's
Um,
because when YouTube comes up, it just starts playing. It just starts playing, whether I tell it to or not. So
oh, how about that? How about that?
I have to run over there and stop it. It's
Well,
like
there you
nothing
go.
is in my control. What's going on here? Oh my goodness. All right. Back to you, Zoma.
Woo, technology, technology. We were told it was going to make life easier, and sometimes it does. I love technology. I don't like technology. I love technology. I don't like technology. I like it when it does what I want it to do, and I don't like it when it doesn't. Isn't that the way we see things? As long as there's yes, as long as we're getting a yes to what we want, we're so happy. And when we don't, then we're not. And that applies to anything and everything. It's what we do. So, all right, all right. We are here to talk about A Course in Miracles meets Science of Mind. Let me share my screen. Oh, nope. Can't do it until Lynn gives it to me. Wait a minute. Let me see. Oh, it says here, Lynn, that starting share screen will stop your computer sound share. And it's asking me, do I want to continue? Um, I'm gonna continue and see what happens. Come participant stopping share screen, starting share screen will stop other participants' computer sound share. And that will be your sound share, Lynn. I don't see how that's possible. I'm going to click yes and see what happens. Let's just figure it out as we go along. All right. So, that's not what I wanted to put on the screen yet. Yes, it is. Okay. There it is. Course in Miracles meets Science of Mind. Let me do this right. I am, I am still finding myself this morning. Um, as I mentioned, I was feeling I couldn't get my spirits. I was listening to some music, but it was soft music now that I think about it. And I came on here and just before I started, Lynn was playing Higher and Higher by Jackie Wilson. And the next thing I know, I was I'm tempted to play it myself. I really am tempted to play it myself. That's how good it is. But anyway, we are here to talk about A Course in Miracles meets Science of Mind and Other Mental Sciences. Today, June 10th, 2024. And we begin, of course, with this quote from this Egyptian proverb. All right, let me get my words together. This Egyptian proverb: "The kingdom of heaven is within you, and whoever shall know himself shall find it." This proverb was written. Well, this the first part of this proverb was added to the Bible. The kingdom of heaven is within you, and that's all I'll say about that. We are reminded each and every time I come here to mind your mind. I need to mind my mind. Dr. Ernest Holmes teaches us that to learn how to think is to learn how to live. And that if we change our thinking, we can change our life. That's it. We can change our thinking, we can change our life. There's so many books that titles or something like that. One is, End Your Thoughts, Change Your World, and all that kind of stuff. Um, they are all saying the same thing, and that's fine. However they say it, however it helps someone, anyone to understand it, that's exactly what's needed. The course teaches that we're not asked to change our behavior, but we are asked to change our thoughts because that's where behavior comes from. And that's, again, change your thinking, change your life. I can't change what I do unless I change what I think. Anyway, to learn how to think is to learn how to live. And the Course tells us that this is a course in mind training and that all learning involves attention and study at some level. We're reminded, too, that an untrained mind can accomplish nothing. This is all about the mind. It's all about the mind. It's not about anything out there. It's always about right here. There is no out there that doesn't come from in here. What I'm perceiving as out there is coming from my own thoughts, from my own thinking. I reworded a song, and and it says something to that effect, that be thankful in everything. Be thankful in everything that comes, because spirit is where it all comes from, and that it's all coming from the inside out, not from the outside in. There's no reason for me not to be grateful for everything, in all things, to give thanks. The Course teaches that only appreciation is an appropriate response, not just to my brother, but to everything. Only appreciation, because what could we not accept if we but knew that all things are gently planned by one whose only purposes are good? An untrained mind can accomplish nothing, and unless we take time to pay attention, to practice, 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 we go nowhere, and we go there fast. Dr. Ernest Holmes teaches, too, that thoughts and things are but two ends of the same proposition. Since it is impossible to stop thinking, we cannot stop creating. Our choice is whether we shall create constructively or destructively. And creating destructively is what the Course calls making stuff up and making it painful to ourselves. It's making a world that we think is real but isn't, that we think is permanent but isn't. Anything that we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch is temporary, and it's gonna go away. Our problem is that we want to think that it's real and that it's going to be here forever. And my Karen has just joined the room. Morning, Karen. Um, a grand rising to you. That's the grand rising. There she is. There she is. I see you. Um, and the reminder too that all thinking produces form at some level. All right. I'm going to go back to, I had said on Thursday that I was going to do a review from the chat that we had on Thursday. There was so much in there, so much in there that let's see if I can do this. If I move this over here, somebody tell me what they see, please, on the screen.
I see mind your mind. To learn how to think is to learn how to live, Ernest Holmes.
Okay, so that's still there. That's not what I want there. So I'm going to stop share. That wasn't quite what I wanted, but that's okay. We'll do it this way. We'll do it this way. And I'll share again. Lynn told me how I could do this, to not have to stop sharing, share again, and now I don't remember. So she's going to have to tell me again. Um, but so on Thursday, there was so much going on in the chat. There was so much going on in the chat that I decided to bring it up. And maybe I should make this bigger. And share it and talk about it, assuming we have a good group here to talk about. Thank you, Mickey, for being here, and thank you, Karen and Lynn, for being here. Because there was so much that came up in the chat that I wanted to go back and look at that again. It was the lesson in itself. So that's big enough. All right. So it's and what I don't have, what I'm not going back to, is what I actually said on Thursday, but not, but what others had to say in general, because there was so much here that I don't think that the reference, the reference that made everybody come where they came from really matters in this point, and in this case. So it started with Dove saying that we are in each other's life to provide opportunities to practice true forgiveness, not the ego's idea of forgiveness to destroy. We are here to provide opportunities to practice true forgiveness. And true forgiveness is basically the understanding that what is right now is not what was before. That whole attempting to hold on to what was is illusion, that it's not real. We are attempting to hold on to something that's not there. Forgiveness, the Course teaches, is to overlook, to be willing to just let go. Just let it go. Just let it go. True forgiveness is to realize that it's just not going on right now. It was an event that occurred, but it's not something that's happening now. It's not happening. It's not happening. And to hold on to those thoughts, those beliefs, those lies that it's going on now, and then making up a story in our head as to, what's going. And even if it was a situation that occurred last week and it occurred again today, last week was last week. We're taught when we pray affirmative, do the affirmative prayer, that every treatment is complete in itself. We don't go back to the last treatment. We can't go back to the last treatment. We're right here where we are. When you go to a physician, when you go see a MD, and he looks in his chart and he just looks at what happened the last time you were there. And if he gave you a medication that and there wasn't and whatever the symptoms were didn't seem to go away, he may prescribe it again, but it's not the same prescription. It's a new prescription. He's not going back to what was, because what was isn't now. So we're here to practice true forgiveness, to realize that what was isn't now. And now everything is wonderful. Everything is perfect. Everything is absolutely perfect. Everything simply is right now. Where the ego's idea of forgiveness to destroy is, yeah, well, I forgive you, but I have a plan to get back at you. Trust me. Well, I forgive you, but I'm not forgetting, that kind of thing. And Karen followed up with, to look at the problem as it is, not the way we set it up. Now, I don't know. I think that came as a result of something that I said. I don't know. And they continue. What was the time difference there? Let me go back. Let me go back. This may give me some insight. The time that she said that, and yeah, it was right after that Karen wrote, to look at the problem as it is and not the way that you set it up, not the way I set it up, because the truth is that there is no problem. She's saying, look at the problem as it is. And when you look at it as it is, you'll realize that the solution is there. There cannot be a problem without a solution. We think there's a problem. We think there's something in the way. We think there's a roadblock. We think that the door won't open. We don't realize there's a window right there. We don't realize that the road continues. When you're looking down the road, when you're driving, you can see only so far. And then you get there to where, as far as you can see, and you see further. In fact, as you continue to move, you will continue to see further. But if you stop, that's where the problem comes in. Can't get to where I'm going if I don't keep going. If I think it's not there because I can't see it. What we see is temporary. What we see is limited, or what we can see is actually limited. So we're looking at the problem as it is and not the way we set it up. Not to say, oh, there's no end to that. There's no this has no solution. There's no way I can go any further. No, you keep on going and you keep on going. Don't analyze it. In fact, that's what Dove said next, that the ego analyzes. He wrote analyzes. I thought it was funny. But the ego analyzes, and it's the Holy Spirit accepts. Just know that it is the Holy Spirit is unlimited. The Holy Spirit thought system is unlimited. It's totally unlimited. There is no limit. No matter how far I can't see further than where I'm looking, but I do know with through the Holy Spirit thought system that when I get there, I'll be able to see further. Um, Zig Ziglar said that you go as far as you can go, you see as far as you can see, and when you get there, you'll be able to see further. Uh, so the ego analyzes and the Holy Spirit accepts. And then Dove asks the question from Workbook Lesson 135, paragraph 18, what could you not accept if you knew that everything that happens, all events, past, present, and to come, are gently planned by one whose only purpose is your good? There is something in the chat. Let me see what that is. And Karen wrote that we set it up to believe the problem is outside the mind. Yeah, we think it's all out there. Yeah, you did it. You're the reason why I feel this way. It's your fault. You're to blame. And as long as I can do that, I don't have to assume responsibility for anything. I don't have to assume responsibility for any of it. And Karen, and good morning to you too, Karen. Okay, let me, um, that wasn't supposed to be there, but yeah, that's when you came in, Karen, after um, so anyway, so Dove says, I can read that. So Dove says, we are choosing a movie, a dream, our imagination. And I've always said that. We're making a bad movie with no film. I've always said that. Bad movie with no film. Just just rolling right along. Just making this imagining things and imagining things not as they are, but the way we want them to be, because there's an expression that the kids used to say, it's your world, squirrel. It's your world. And the way I see it is the way I think it is, and not taking into consideration that there is another way. Dove writes also that all movies are playing in a twin theater, and he gave us an image of that, which I may or may not show later. He says, I can choose to see the lie that tells me I'm right, or be happy with the inconvenient truth. So the inconvenient truth stays inconvenient until you practice, and then the truth becomes where happiness lies, and the lie becomes inconvenient. When I made a decision to be in integrity, to the very best of my ability, life got a little difficult. I'm like, oh my God, and you mean I have to tell the truth here? Oh, I don't want to say that because they might think, they might feel. And we do that all the time. Raymond Charles Barker says, it was Raymond Charles Barker, not Terry Cole Whitaker first, who said that what other people think of you is not your business. What other people think of me is not my business. I'm here. Oh, my friend Hazel is here. Morning, Hazel. Glad you're here. Hazel is a practitioner, one of the practitioners at the Center of Peace, along with me. And she is my friend. And we are going to be roommates in Egypt. Yay. Um, if you want you think I'm animated, you know nothing. You think Hazel gives animation a whole new meaning. Welcome, 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 my friend. Welcome, my friend. There she is. Welcome, my friend. So Hazel, today what I'm doing on Thursday, we had a great hour and a half, and in the chat there was so much meat that was put in it that I decided, and I had said I was going to do the chat. I'm going to do a kind of a review of the chat, and I may go somewhere else with that, but it's pretty lengthy. And I'm sure I won't get through all of this before my time with this is up. So anyway, so Dove was saying that all movies are playing in a twin theater, and we can choose to see the lie that tells me I'm right, or be happy with the inconvenient truth. And I was saying that the inconvenient truth stays inconvenient except after practice, the truth becomes the happiness. And the lie becomes inconvenient. Learning to be in integrity. That's what I was talking about. That when I decided to start being in integrity, how difficult it was, because I was always thinking and worrying about what somebody would say and what they would think if I, oh my God, if I tell the truth about that, oh, I wish they hadn't asked me that. Mm. But what I've discovered, what I've actually discovered, I had a conversation with a friend last week, uh, just last week, and it was a lengthy conversation. Um, I called her after a meeting that we were in, and I told the truth as I saw it, and there could have been pushback. There could have been, and when we ended the conversation, she was thanking me, and I was grateful that she was thanking me. But how we say we want to be ourselves. We say we want to, what's the expression? Do you, boo? We say we want to do that. We want to be that. And then we turn around and pretend to be something else. And Ralph Waldo Emerson said that imitation is suicide. If I'm pretending to be something that I'm not, that means I'm killing what I am. And how can I get you to like, love, want to be around who I am if I'm pretending to be someone else? And if I'm pretending to be someone else, it's because I don't feel that I am worthy enough to just be who I am. Hazel, if you want at any time you want to jump in, you just raise your hand or raise the virtual hand or anything. Feel free. Um, but this morning, people they're so far. Mickey hasn't said a thing. So far, Karen hasn't said a thing. Well, Karen did put something in the chat. Oh no, there is something else in the chat. Let's see. In the chat. Oh, Hazel was saying hi. Um, but yeah, so yeah, pretending to be something I am not. Um, oh, and no, Hazel, there's no pretty PowerPoint slide. This is not a PowerPoint. This is actually a copy of the chat that I pasted into Word, which I'm now putting on the screen. I didn't have to explain. Well, I'm explaining it to you because I was telling you about pretty PowerPoints, and that's not here today. So Dove continued saying that that's the Wayne Dyer story, that you see what you want to see and what you believe is true. And in the middle of the word believe, we have the lie. We have a lie. In the middle of the believe is the lie. We think that what we see is the truth. And our thoughts are getting us in trouble every time. Because if what I think is I see is the truth, and what you think you see is the truth, and we're seeing something different, then what's the truth? What's the real truth? So we see what we want to see. Our world starts from within. We do what we want to do. And then Glory and apparently Regis had said something about we project our thoughts on the world. We take ourselves with us. And that's why I said, wherever you go, there we are. Wherever you go, there you are. And it was Regis apparently had made that comment or something like that. And Glorian was just responding to that. And then Lynn wrote, it's not what I'm looking for. I don't know what this comment was. It's not what I am looking for. It's what I'm looking with. I'm gonna go there. Dr. Ernest Holmes says that what we are looking for is always what we are looking with. We're looking for something outside. We're looking for someone to complete us, not realizing and recognizing that we are already complete. We are whole. The course teaches that our worth is not established by what we think or say or do, our worth is established by God. Our worth is established by the Creator. And remembering that God's will and my will are one, I have to decide I am worthy. The Holy Spirit thought system will keep me there, holds me there. I am worthy. Just realizing and recognizing that. Dove wrote that if we move here with baggage, okay, so Regis apparently had brought up about moving to Colorado. He moved to Pueblo, Colorado. He's near Lynn now. It's fantastic. I want to go to Colorado and hang out with all of you. I do, and plan to somewhere along the way. Probably take Hazel with me. We're going to Colorado. Hazel likes to travel. But Dove writes, he wrote, if you move here with baggage, that's what you see here in Colorado. I've shared the story of it's a story I've read somewhere about the man that was standing at a road, and a person walks up to him and says, I am thinking about moving to the next town. What do you think of it? What do you think about that? He says, well, what will tell me about the town you just came from? He says, oh, the people there were horrible. I mean, every time he turned around, somebody was bickering, and it was always fighting, and the people were gossiping, and oh, it was just the worst place in the world to live. He said, oh, well, then I don't think you're going to like going to the next town. So he turned around, he went back. And then later on, another man came up and said to that same man, he says, "Sir, I'm thinking about moving to the next town. What do you think about that?" He says, "Well, tell me about the town we came from." He says, "Oh, it's really a great town." I said, "There's, it's really great. The people there are so wonderful. They're sweet, and everywhere I go, people are loving, and I'm loving back, and oh, it's just so fantastic. We just have such a good time there." He said, "Well, then I think that you're going to love the next town." So it's really wherever we go, there we are. You take you with you. So if it was bad somewhere else, it's going to be bad everywhere, because it's you that you're perceiving as bad and you're acting accordingly. So Dove continues to say it's up to us to unpack our baggage, to be willing to let go of what hurts, to be willing to let go of the things that we think are uh, are the truth. And if they hurt, they continue to hurt. It can't possibly be true. Again, workbook lesson 135:18 reminds us, what can you not accept if you but knew that all things, everything, past, present, and to come, are gently planned by one whose only purpose is your good. But we've misunderstood that plan because we've chosen pain. We've chosen pain. Now, granted, there, because we think that what you do is the reason why I feel this way, and I don't like what you did. Ugh, I don't like it, and I think that you're the reason I feel this way. So I walk away now, and I'm just, that doggone so and so. If they hadn't done this, I wouldn't feel this way. The truth is that I feel this way because I'm thinking this way. My thoughts are always where it's coming from. Always my thoughts. It's always my thoughts. And as Karen writes here, quoting Dove, I am always speaking about myself. Always. And Dove wrote, it's not where I am. It's not where I am. It's where I am. Again, we're still talking about it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. It's always me. It's always me. And Dove continues, yeah, we don't want the truth. We want to see the guilt in others, which is basically what I was just saying. I want to blame you. And if I can't blame you, if you, as I've said this before, you eat a certain food, I don't like it, or you eat a certain food and it makes me sick. If you eat that, I'm not going to get sick. So why is it if you think that, I think it has to affect me? If what you do doesn't affect me, what you say doesn't affect me, it has no effect on me whatsoever. I was reading um Raymond Charles Barker in his collected essays, and I had it on the screen the other day. From his collected essays, I realized it was there. On the screen, it's called Spirit, Soul, and no, that's not what it's called. That's not what it's called. I am incorrect. It was The Science of Forgiveness. We were reading from there the other day, and he writes, you always see your consciousness in your world. Let your fellow man do what he wants to do. Let him say what he wants to say. Let him be as unpleasant as he wants to be. It is none of your business. You look out at your world through the atmosphere of your thought. And Ernest Holmes, the thing you are looking for is the thing you are looking with and the thing you are looking at. That's a quote from Ernest Holmes. Raymond Charles Barker, in conjunction with Ernest Holmes, wrote a 365 Days of Richer Living. Raymond Charles Barker, I've read, was one of the best teachers of religious science post Ernest Holmes, student of Ernest Holmes. And I read that he was actually a Unity. He started out in Unity and was ordained. Is that the word I want? Ordained by Charles Fillmore. And those of you who don't know, Charles Fillmore was the gentleman who started Unity. All these different forms of mental sciences came together. All started under Mary Baker Eddy. A lot of them did started under Mary Baker Eddy, and then they branched out on their own. Charles Fillmore did Unity. Ernest Holmes did religious science. And here again, as I'm saying, Raymond Charles Barker was a student of Ernest Holmes after that. He says, if there are people in your world whom you dislike, they are in your world because they are a part of your consciousness. And your own wrong thought is to blame. It says, without your consciousness, you are carrying these people no, I'm sorry, I'm reading it totally wrong. Within your consciousness, you are carrying these people, and your own wrong thought is to blame. Turn on some more light on that. And he mentions that even if they do affect you, it's still none of your business. If if you walk up to me and you start, yelling and screaming, you get in my face, you get, in my space, and you're yelling and screaming, and I'm just, I always have a choice. My first choice is to mug you out of my face. That's usually the first thought. You're going to get out of my face, or to come back with the same stuff that they came at us with. Or if we're choosing to recognize our best self and recognize their best self, we get that what's coming out of them is what's in them, and they have to be in pain to be putting that out. Not easy. Oh my God, it's not easy. Karen, I see your hand. Come on.
Yeah, thanks, Zulma. Also, this could have to do with something that someone is doing that I might not agree with. Okay, so my granddaughter called me. She was going through something. She is going through something, and I did not like what she was telling me at all. Wasn't happy about it at all, but I did not, I mean, in my mind, I judged it in my mind, but I didn't say anything to her in that effect. I just was very loving, supportive, and just listened to her, asked her how she was feeling, asked her what she wanted to do, and I just told her what I would normally do in a situation like that. I just, offered what I would do, and she could do whatever she wants with that, but I didn't tell her I didn't like it. I didn't tell her she was wrong. I didn't tell her anything of that sort, because I'm here to meet people where they are, and she called me, she came to me with this situation. So who am I to judge it? I don't have to like it. It's not my path. It's her path, and I still don't like it. I'm still not happy about it. But I'm giving it over to spirit and trusting that all things work together for good, and it's not according to Karen. So thank you. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we how we choose to deal with what's said to us, and or what's quote quote done to us, is really what it is. It's not the thing out there, because it's never the thing out there. And it's always best, I like that, Karen, to ask questions rather than rather than just go telling. Well, what you ought to do, what you should do. Well, why'd you do that? That's why'd you do that? Now, and the second you ask somebody why, Reverend Sheila Pierce, our founding minister, she used to say that the why is a low level question. When you ask why, it's a low level question. When you ask why, it's because you already think you have the correct answer to that. You think you already have the correct answer. So, and Regis, so I'm continuing. So Regis said something about that we're playing our own soundtrack. It's our own soundtrack. And what I said, we have our own movie, we have our own soundtrack, and and Lynn, talking about Colorado, just said, "Welcome to Pueblo," again. And Glorian reminded us that we are only responsible for our response, to choose peace. That's the goal. Peace. That's our goal. Glorian continues, if we do not allow it to come up and feel it, we're talking about the problem now. If we don't allow it to come up and feel it, we cannot let it go. And this is why there's no point in judging what someone else's, their approach, what's going on with them, because what they're doing is they're letting that thing come up so they can feel it. And you can't heal it unless you feel it. You just can't. You just simply can't. So Karen wrote, we can, from the course, that no one can judge on partial evidence, that this is not judgment. It is merely an opinion based on ignorance and doubt. No one can judge on partial evidence. And we never have all the facts. We never do. We never have all the facts. In the workbook, somewhere around 12, 13, 14, I'm not sure, in the manual for teachers about judgment, how is judgment relinquished, it says that in order to judge something perfectly, you have to know all of its past, you have to know everything in the present, and you have to know all of its future. And who among us can say that we do? We don't. So whenever we're judging on partial evidence. And if we're going to judge, and I put in quotation marks, according to Emma Curtis Hopkins, she says, make a right judgment. Make a right judgment. And Hazel wrote in the chat that you're a great role model, Karen. Says you're a great role model. It's a challenge dealing with young people and all their bloopers. Our approach is crucial if we are to have any hope of them hearing our point of view, and not just the youth, not just the young people. That applies to anybody, because you come at me wrong, like we are adult children. There are the little children, and then there's the older children, and then there's the adult children. We are all still just children, because that we're the sum total of all of it. It's still there. If we're still reacting to something that happened a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 40 years ago, if you're that old, if you're still reacting to something, you're still there. It's there, and you think it's real. Karen, go ahead.
Yeah, another thing that's really important to me that the course taught me, I'm learning to respect others' power of decision. And the course says, Jesus says in the course, I will respect what you made because you made it. I will not uphold it unless it's true. So I'm going to respect, what you made because you made it. You are a son of God, just like me. You have that same power of decision that I have. I may not agree with it. It may not be true. I don't have to let it affect me. I don't have to let it have power over me. And what my granddaughter's doing is, I did allow it to upset me, and I have to look at that. But I didn't show her that. It's something that I have to, with spirit, go over and, really just learn more acceptance with where she's at with it. But power of decision is our one remaining freedom here. And this is where we're learning to make the decision and make the choice between Ego and Holy Spirit. So we have to respect where everyone's at. That's me. I have to respect where everyone's at. So that's a big help for me to trust everyone's playing their part perfectly. I trust where she's at for her. I might not like it, but I trust it, if that makes sense. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you see A Course in Miracles screen on my screen now? Okay. Oh, it did work. All right. And there's the quote that Karen was just talking about. I will love you and honor you and maintain complete respect for what you have made, but I will not uphold it unless it is true. And that's, and I love that. I absolutely love that. I have that on a slide as one of my reminders. As one of my reminders. And I will copy that and put that into I'll put that right there where I'll put it right there. I'm going to put that right here. I'll do something. And then Doug was talking about, oh, Lynn, I see your hand. Go ahead, love.
Okay, I got to do a couple things here to make sure people can hear me on Pal Talk. So I have to put it on the microphone. That's
Hazel
why
Pal Talk. I'm just going to, so Hazel can know. Hazel Pal Talk is this all started as just a chat. It's a chat room. It's a chat room. So we have the chat room going. What we're doing right now here is being heard in the chat room, the Pal Talk chat room. Pal Talk is one word. You can also stream it. You can also stream it, ACIM Gather. That has a live stream. So it's all coming. This is happening in 3 different places. Right here, which is going to become a YouTube. It's going on YouTube, and in the Pal Talk chat room, and on the stream. And if you want all those links, I can send them to you. I can send them to you all at one time, not at this moment, but I will do that.
Thank you, Zulma.
What'd you say, Lynn? Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Thank you for pointing that out too, because that's we'd love to have people come, and especially to listen on the radio, because the streaming on the radio is I think uh pretty valuable to a lot of folks who can't get on otherwise. So what I was going to say, this is directly to Karen and her situation. And it is very, I don't think it's a similar situation, but it's similar in many ways. My granddaughter, who is now right now she's 23, um, when she was 19. Well, she had a boyfriend all through high school. She loved this boy. Oh my God, Ruben. And Ruben was a kid that came. His dad was in prison. He lived with his grandmother. His mother was in prison off and on. Convicted felons, druggers, all that kind of stuff. Ruben had a hard life. He grew up with a hard family. He was a sweet kid, and but I just couldn't see him with my granddaughter, who I thought was probably the like the most valuable being in the world, the most beautiful girl in the world, the girl that could have anything, do anything, be anything. you know I just saw her as such a shining star, and she was with this boy that I was just so sure was going to just drag her down, as sweet as he was. He just didn't have, I couldn't see a future, honestly. And I was trying to figure it out. And she got pregnant, and I was like, oh my gosh, you have to have an abortion. You can't, you're too young. She was in college. You can't be having a baby. It was too late. She didn't tell us until she was so far along that it was too late. And she knew that. She knew that. And so then, of course, there were the plans, and he was going to move up to Denver and work at the Target warehouse, and she was going to move away, and there she would be with a baby, and she was just a baby herself. I couldn't even see it. I couldn't imagine it. How is this going to work? And I was like, oh my God, please help me to have some peace about this, because it was terrifying me, really honestly terrifying me. And then on the day he turned 22, his birthday was the day before my birthday. He got in an accident, and on my birthday, he died. And that was not the solution I was looking for. It was not the thing I was hoping for. But it was because I didn't want him to be with her. I didn't want her to ruin her life. I just had all these ideas. That was not my idea. But I recognized that that was the way it was. That was the way it was. And the Holy Spirit was in charge of it all the whole time. All my fears for what was going to happen to her and how he was going to be and all that were for nothing, because he was not even here anymore. But that set up a whole nother thing, because of course, I have to feel all those thoughts, all those prayers for death that I was really doing when I was wishing that they weren't together. I wishing things would change. I was wishing she would go back to school. I was wishing so many things. And now of course she's just like a little widow. She's got a beautiful baby girl who just turned 4. Um, I guess I'm just saying we don't know. And so the thought that, there was something that I could hope for her that would be better than what the Holy Spirit had in charge for her, or what the plan was for her. You know, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just saying things work out in ways that we don't understand. And that is, you just got to have faith and know that everything is going to be okay. Anyway, thank you for letting me share. I'm sorry I get so verklempt.
Don't you ever be sorry for letting your feelings be what they are. Appreciate you, Lynn. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And the point that we never know what anything is for. We never know. We think that, we can tell, we're just going to tell them what their future, we just know what their future is going to be because we've seen it before. And we just think we just know stuff. We know nothing. We know nothing. We imagine, we think, we believe, we don't know. And workbook lesson 24 says that um it's about perception. Um, I don't perceive I don't perceive my own best interest. I don't perceive my own best interest. And that's because I don't know what my best interests are. Hi, Regis. Welcome. Hazel meet Regis. Regis meet Hazel. Regis Hazel is one of the practitioners with me at the Center of Peace. We are friends and we're going to be roommates in Egypt come November. Um, uh, anyway, so I don't perceive my own best interest. That's workbook lesson number 24. And it goes on to say that everything is our own best interest, every single thing. So we want to see something, we want to judge it as good, as being bad or good or great, or however we choose to judge it. It's just a judgment. It's just our own perception. It's seeing the world through our own eyes. We just never really know. We just never really know. Um, and the outcome, and I understand, feeling, wow, I didn't want this to happen. I mean, I wanted to, yeah, I get it, been there, done that, and I'm sure we all have. We don't realize that thoughts have power. Thoughts become things. Thoughts have power, and we don't always get it the way we ask for it. Sometimes we get it, and it's not the way we ask for it. I asked for a companion. What I get? Lovable. I got lovable. All right, Hazel just disappeared. Um, and and that's okay, and that's quite all right. Yeah. So Regis, this was from Thursday, the chat from Thursday. I said I was going to do it. Um, I'm going to skip over that part. So Glorian was saying that we impersonal. He left. All right, Regis is gone too. We impersonalize error. We impersonalize error, and I'm not. And then Dove wrote that we determine that we're trying to determine the outcome of our dreams. Um, and Glorian reminds us simply that our job is to accept the atonement for ourselves, to accept the atonement for ourselves. And then Lynn gave us an excellent, oh, that's not what I want. That's what I want. Lynn gave us an excellent, she gave us an excellent quote from chapter 31, section 4. And why would you seek to try another road, another person, or another place when you've learned the way the lesson starts, but do not yet perceive what it is for? Again, our perception. We don't know our own perception. I'm not saying that right. We don't perceive our own best interests. We do not know. We do not yet perceive what it is for. Its purpose that is the answer to the search that all must undertake who still believe there's another answer to be found. There's nothing out there. There is no God, and there is no more than everything. There is no more than everything. Learn now. So we talked about now. Learn now. Without despair, there is no hope of answer in the world. We think that the tangible is permanent, and it's not. Learn now without despair. There is no hope of answer in the world. I was just reading workbook lesson 129 this morning, which was talking about that as well. Do not judge the lesson that it is but begun with this. Seek not another signpost in the world that seems to point to still another road. There is no other way. There's only one way. There is only one way. No longer look for hope where there is none. There's a passage in the Course that says to place your hope where no hope lies must make you hopeless. To place your hope where no hope lies makes you hopeless. So no longer look for hope where there is none. Make fast your learning now. We brought that up about now. Now is the only aspect of time that has meaning. Now is all there is. There is no past. There is no future. There is none of that. There's only now. And every moment is now. And understand you but waste time unless you go beyond what you have learned to what is yet to learn. For from this lowest point will learning lead to heights of happiness in which you see the purpose of the lesson shining clear and perfectly within your learning grasp. So I'm holding on to what I already have. I don't have to go seeking something else. I don't have to buy another book. And Lord knows I have a lot. I don't have to buy yet another book. I don't have to, and I'm using the words have to here. Go hear another speaker. I don't have to come here. I don't have to do this. I don't have to. My worth is not established by any of that. My worth is already established because I am. Because I am. We were talking about now. The peace of God is shining in me now. Workbook lesson 188. Now. Ernest Holmes, there is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. That would have been prettier this morning, but I did it, like a half hour before I came here, so I didn't pretty up the slide. Anyway, and that's what I had from the slideshow. Let me go back to what we were reading. And that was the passage that Lynn had given us. And from there, different people had comments. Karen wrote, the only hope is in the right mind. There is no hope in the world. And Glorian wrote, all healing comes at the level of mind. Only minds join, only permanently. Only minds join permanently. Bodies join temporarily. And I think it'd be great, but it's temporary. If we could make it permanent, then we wouldn't be having this conversation at all. But all healing comes at the level of mind. And Karen wrote, the purpose of the world is to keep you mindless. It keeps asking the question, seek and do not find. Seek and do not find. Seek and do not find. You complete me. No, not you. You complete me. No, not you. This thing completes me. No, I'm going to buy this one more thing. This is it. No, I'm going to seek and do not find. And Karen wrote, what has been given you from a passage in the Course, what has been given you? The knowledge that you are a mind, in mind, capital M, and purely mind, sinless forever, wholly unafraid, because you were created out of love. From Workbook Lesson 158. Today I give as I receive. Yes, Karen, go ahead.
Yeah, just real quick. Seek and do not find is synonymous with seek not outside yourself. Because the ego seeks for answers outside of the mind, like you said, and that is where, I've learned so much from this course that is not the truth. And the answers are always within. So that seek and do not find is very powerful, very, very powerful. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And it goes back to the quote by Ernest Holmes, the thing you are looking for is the thing you are looking with and the thing you are looking at. What I'm looking for is already right here. Seek not outside yourself. There's nothing outside of you that can quote, quote, save you. There is nothing outside of you that can give you what you truly want, what you truly want. That permanence, that sense of peace, that the knowing. Nothing outside of you can give you that. That's only within. And it's only when we use that Holy Spirit thought system, what the 12-step program calls the higher power. The I like that, Regis. I like that. But you know what? I can do that myself. I'm going to make something like that. Um, I'm going to try anyway. Uh, um, yeah, it's only when we recognize that we are it. There is no other. There is nothing outside. There is no God and. I can't say that enough. That, by the way, Hazel, came from Joel Goldsmith. But no God and. That's from Joel Goldsmith. I'm learning every day that a lot of the stuff that I'm hearing didn't come from where I first heard it. Um, and Glorian was responding to Karen with that. She says a temptation and distraction from accepting the atonement. That's what the world is, this mindlessness. It's a temptation and distraction from accepting the atonement. We're reminded over and over and over again that we are here to only to accept the atonement for ourselves. Oh, it's 11 o'clock. Oh, see, told you we weren't going to get through this. I knew I wouldn't. I may or may not continue with this on Thursday, depending on how I feel, or may extract something from it. Hazel, thank you for coming. Regis, I appreciate you. Michaela, Lynn, Karen, thank you all for being here. Thank you all in Pal Talk. Love you, family. And I am going to turn, just like that, I'm turning the mic over back to Lynn.
Thank you so much, Selma. There is no one after you now. I don't know what happened here, but there's no one on after you. So if you wanted to take longer, you could, and that is entirely up to you. And I'm not going to entice you into that today unless you were like, oh my gosh, really, Lynn? I just want to do some more. Anyway.
You know what's funny about that? Last Monday, it was the same thing. And we ended up going to 12 o'clock, and it became a really, vibrant conversation. We ended up going to 12 o'clock. Regis had a lot to say. I'm just remembering, I'm just recalling that now, that last Monday, there was no one after me. So, all right, Regis, if you want to have a vibrant conversation, we can. We're good. Yeah, but whatever that is, whatever that background is you have, brother, you look like a fractile. There we go. Thank you so much. We can do this. We can keep on going, and or we can or not.
I did
We're
want to
still,
comment. Can y'all hear me okay?
huh?
Yes.
Yeah, here you fine.
Okay, great. I was listening on Pal Talk most of the morning. I don't know what's going on with Zoom today with me, but it's just beginning to let me into the room where it's actually a stable connection. But as you were talking earlier about um, everything okay?
I'm just remembering that I have something I have to do this afternoon. I have we're oof. I'm not going to stay much longer because
You got
we
some.
have a new practitioner coming on board
Oh,
later this month, and we're doing mock interviews with her to help her get through that. And I just remembered that I have to prepare myself for that. And when Hazel wrote in the chat that she has a meeting to go to, she has some prepping to do. I remembered I have some prepping to do too. Thank
yeah.
you very much. I'm only going to stay another half hour. Okay, Hazel, thank you. Thank you for coming. I look to see you soon. Love you. Hope to see you again.
I'm gonna stay until Regis gets out what he has to say. I've been having Zoom problems, internet problems this morning too, but I just wanted to hear a few of Regis' words, and then I will have to slip out of here. Forgive me for hanging out a minute.
Well, thank you, Miss Hazel.
Yeah, you better make this good, Regis. That's all I gotta say.
Well, I don't make stuff. I don't, I just be, you all are the human doings. I'm the, I'm the
Right?
spiritual
Spiritual
being.
being. That's right, brother.
But no, as I was listening on Pal Talk in Zuma, if you didn't say it 3 times, you said it 6, but you kept using the example of people coming at you the wrong way. And but this the thing we have to also remember, because we still got love in a box. And love is always, and I'm using this kind of figuratively, we always have this egoic imagination, and that's how the spiritual ego makes us feel like victims. Even when we talk in our spiritual talk, there's a lot of I'm a victim because I got to put up with stuff. I got to put up with people. And no, you don't. Love is not always, yes, love is not always, oh, come and let me give you a hug while you destroy me verbally. You know, love can be no. It's the biggest disservice we can do people is give them our judgment, because we talk about, well, we can't judge them. We don't know their story. We don't know the beginning. We don't know this. Okay, we don't. So we really don't know what they need right now. And the only thing we can do is what I just said, is be. And if being says stop, if being says no, then that could be very well what that person needs. I've told people no, and I've told people stop, and then they realize, oh, I'm out of line. Oh, I need to calm down. You know, but if you're trying to do love, you're not being love. You're not. All you can do is be. So somebody coming at you the wrong way, the loving thing to do may be stop. Stop, ma'am. Stop, sir. you know, it may be no. It's not always trying to come up with this, what we think is, and I'm using air quotes, this loving reaction, because Jesus didn't always have what we call today a loving reaction. If we just look at the figure Jesus, whether you think Jesus historically or you think Jesus metaphorically, it wasn't always this ooey ooey, ooey ooey gooey. He told his disciples, if you go out to these towns, if they don't receive you, shake the dust from your feet and go on.
Uh-oh, Regis just froze. He just froze.
He did indeed. And I love his point. It's such an important one, to be in the moment, to react as spirit is moving you, which is going to be honest and natural, and you will feel it. Not with rage. If it's rage, it's probably out of line. But if it's like, hold up, it's your higher self responding. I love the point he made. Absolutely.
And sometimes rage follows rage, because your extension of love might be followed up with my extension of love. I need my call, not an extension. Your call for love may be followed up with my call for love. It can happen that way. I just had that happen last week. I was having a conversation with someone on the phone, and I had to say, wait, hold it. You feel that way, but I feel that way too. And I can't really talk right now. In fact, I'm going to get off the phone right now. And very gently, I said, bye. And I hung up the phone because I knew that whatever I would have said next, couldn't unsay.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be able to take it back. And and even while me hanging up, because then I found, I got a text message later about the fact that I hung up.
Yeah.
But that was okay. But it wasn't from that. It was third party anyway. But that was fine. That was the best thing I could do. That was the most loving thing that I could do in the moment. Hang up, because if it would have. We don't, and with the point that Regis was making is, if we say it's all God, we say it's all love. If it's all love, whether it comes, or if it comes, it's still love. Call for love or an extension of love. It's still all love. And it's up to me, back to that, what Raymond Charles Barker said. Even if it does affect you, it's still not your business. It's not my business how you come at me. And if I'm, and how you, and I'm saying come at me as if It's not a problem. It's just you coming. Here I am, and you show up. And apparently it's something that I need for my growth. All things are lessons that God would have us learn. All things. It doesn't, the course doesn't teach that some things. All things are lessons that God would have us learn. Dr. Ernest in the Science of Mind text says, turn away from the condition. That would be that, hold it, stop. Because you're choosing to see that. Oh, my hand went up. Go put my hand up, and the baby hand went up, thinking I was actually raising my hand. Because you are choosing to recognize that I don't have to come from the same energy that they're coming from, and B, that they needed to express themselves the way they are. And how I deal with it is key. I like back to what Karen was saying, that her granddaughter was saying, said something to her, she didn't like it. She didn't like it one bit, and didn't approach her with that. Oh, girl, I can't believe you said that. Don't you know you could see? And all that would have done, and Karen knows it. Is make a person rebel. It doesn't matter if we're youth. It doesn't matter what phase of adulthood we are, because children are little adults. They're adults in the making. And we are the adult version of the child that we've always been. So it doesn't, rebellion is going to come. Well, what do you think? Because, as adults, what do you think you're talking to? We end up with doing that sort of thing. We always, the gift is always choice. Is always choice. I get to choose, and I could be seething on the end, which was the case last week. The thoughts I was thinking, just fortunately, I had enough, I'm going to use the word emotional intelligence. I had enough emotional intelligence not to let those words fly out my mouth, because I heard it, and I said, oh, I wouldn't want this said to me. I wouldn't want this said to me, and it will make me back off. So we have to, accept things as they are, accept people as they are. And it's hard because we're used to judging. We are taught to judge. We were taught, but in the world we judge. It's this or it's that. And as was written earlier, the ego is always analyzing something. It's always comparing something. Oh, you're too this, you're not enough that, and what's wrong with you? And so as if you're right and I'm wrong. What's wrong with you? And no, it's no right and wrong. It simply is. And it's supposed to be different. My left thumbprint doesn't tell my right thumbprint, oh, you're missing circles. You're not the same as, we're supposed, what's wrong with you? You're not the same as me. My one eye, I have one eye that sits a little lower than the other one. My one eye doesn't tell the other eye, you should be you should come up, you should be more open, or you should be a little more close. It doesn't happen that way. This whole comparison thing, again, the oak tree doesn't tell the willow tree, you shouldn't be so flexible. And the willow tree doesn't tell the oak, you should not be so doggone, staunch about things, just you're so rigid about things. No, the oak tree does what the oak tree is supposed to do, and the willow tree does what the willow tree is supposed to do. Just like you do what you're supposed to do, and I do what I'm supposed to do, and you're supposed to do it your way. And my job, my role, if I want to maintain peace, is to just accept it. I don't have to like it. It's to accept it. Accept what I can't change what I can. And that is the way I see it. And have the wisdom to know the difference. Go ahead, Karen.
Yeah, in reference to the oak tree, Zulma is Zulmaing, Hazel is hazeling, Karen is Karening, okay? And that's that we can make a song up, right? I mean, that's it, exactly. And we can't judge it. And forgiveness to destroy is judging. It's judging. It has no yeah, I'm going to forgive you, but I still don't like what you said, and I'm judging it all up and down and sideways, and no, that's not the way it works. Now for my granddaughter, I want her to be able to trust me and talk to me. I want to keep that open, and I don't want to judge her and tell her she's wrong or she's making a mistake, just like Glenn, with that situation. My granddaughter's 19 now. So a lot of that was very familiar what Lynn was saying. And I just want to be that open space for her. I want her to be able to share with me. And I don't want her to feel that she can't. So that's another part of it. It's that trust, you know, and I don't have to like it, and I'm not going to always like it, but that's okay too. You know, I mean, that is okay. I am so okay with that. I don't have to like everything. That's all.
Thank you. And it keeps and it's going to keep and things going to keep on coming up. Things will keep on coming up. And just as Lynn was telling the story that she was telling, we don't know any outcomes of anything. We don't know. We don't know what anything is for. We think, oh, I can just see. We don't know. We don't know. So if we work on, if I work on staying in the now and not trying to project what's going to be, and if if you don't straighten up, then your life is gonna. I don't know that. I don't know that. What I don't know is if me saying that to someone may not may be planting a seed. I may be planting a seed in some person, young, old, whatever. If I tell them, yeah, if you don't change the way you're living, such and such is going to happen to you. And now they're thinking about such and such. It may have never even occurred to them. And now you're planting a seed. So the goal is always, to the best of my ability, to uplift, 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 up to the best of my ability. Keep my mouth shut to the best of my ability. And it doesn't always happen that way. It just doesn't. We're taught, Reverend Twana tells us, be willing to call somebody up, but not call them out. There's something going on, call them up, but not out. Like I said, it happened last week. A friend of mine, we were finishing a meeting, and I called her up. I didn't call her out. And when we finished the conversation, she was thanking me in love, because she knew that it was coming in love, but I was calling her up, not out. So that's key. That's really, really key. Letting people off the hook, letting yourself off the hook. Stop thinking that you're right, that it has to be this way. And it doesn't matter how old you are. You can talk about your experience, but your experience is not my experience. You may see similarities in the experience, but it doesn't mean, as Karen just wrote in the chat, I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here truly helpful. I am here to represent him who sent me. It's not me, but as is written that Jesus said, not me, but the Father who sent me. Not me, but the Father who sent me. These words I speak are not my own. They're coming from spirit. And you know when it's not coming from spirit, because if you're judging it, and I can't believe that. We know, we know. So we do know. But as far as what's coming, what's outside of us, we don't know, which is why in chapter 12 it says that analyzing the motives of others is hazardous to you. Analyzing the motives of others is hazardous to you. I can't analyze your anything, because I don't know what's next for you. For me, I don't know what's next. It's not my place to know. I don't know until I know, and it's only in this moment. In this moment, this is all I know, this moment right now. I know that it's 11:17. I know that I'm getting off of here shortly. I know that I know that
I gotta go. And I mean, I'm glad. Good to see you. Good to see Karen. Good to meet Lynn. But we are addicted, and many of us, to detective stories where you always analyze and try to see what's coming next, and trying to be the smart one. Say, okay, I figured that out, not realizing that we're creating some of the outcomes that then come to pass. But I want to thank you while I've got to go. Good stuff. And I'll be back, at least in the summertime when I have a chance to come back. So thank you all for sharing.
Good to see you. So good to see you, Hazel.
Likewise, absolutely. So back till we're back together again. Much love and great adventures.
Thanks for coming in. It's good to see you. It's nice to meet you.
yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Hazel, love you.
Take care. Much love, everybody. Ciao,
Bye-bye.
ciao.
So Hazel is in the Course in Miracles study group that Karen and I, or in one of the study groups that Karen and I participate in, Len. So yeah. So
Do
this.
you
So
want me to put her on the email list, or I should ask her before she left? But
I'll ask her. I'll let her know.
ask her. Yeah.
She is a professor at Cheney University, So that's why she said summertime. Um, she's a busy lady. So um, whether or not she would be, although she can always stream and listen in, driving home or something. Um, yeah, I'll let her know. I'll let her know, and I will send her, all of our links so that she'll have them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna go back to the screen for a little bit, just for a little bit. Um, Screen share. Wait a minute. First, I have to make sure I got the right screen. Then I have to make sure I'm screen sharing. Wait a minute. That's the screen I want to share. Okay. Go there. Screen. Lost it. Uh-oh. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Can't find the Zoom room. Oh, I minimized the Zoom room. Oh, it's that part of the day when confusion just shows up. All right. So, um, back to where we were. So Karen was talking about that we are at home dreaming of exile. That the purpose that the ultimately that there is no world, and that's how that's the ego's thought system. There is no world. We keep wanting to make something that isn't. That there is no world. And Glorian responded, "Seek that outside yourself," which is what we were just saying. Um, yeah, to seek and do not find is to seek outside yourself, because what you're looking for, you already are. What we looking for, we already are. And Karen writes that all of its roads, they're talking about the world, all its roads lead to death because nothing here lasts. It's all temporary. It's all temporary. And Glorian says that we're to give the Holy Spirit the wheel. Keep keep it moving. Keep it moving. All right. Okay, I see this thing out here happening. Yep. And okay, it came to pass. All right. And I hear that person saying that thing. Okay. It came to pass. And that's what we're to do, to remember that it all comes to pass. 727 times in the Bible. It came to pass. Nothing comes to stay. It came to pass. It comes to pass. And and Gloria paid me a compliment. I left it there. And then because Karen then said that everyone loves me. So apparently I had brought up that everybody loves Regis and that everyone loves Zulma. Well, I didn't say that. I don't know what Gloria said, but thank you, Karen, for saying that. And then we start talking about what so I had taken these things out, and I almost wish I hadn't. There was different reactions to this, that, and the other. Um, so so what happened was that Sharon had made a comment um to someone, and then there's all these reactions to that about that person. I think she was talking about Regis, and um all these reactions. They were just everybody's reacting. Karen says, "I'm still her Zulma." Yes. And Gloria says that you have to share. um and then came the We Love Regis, and I wonder if I can find that where is it here? Um where was that all these reactions to the different it was just feeling the love in here. It was just really feeling it. And no, I can't find that slide. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna look for it. But anyway, there was so many wonderful reactions, one of us to the other of us. It was amazing at how all of a sudden we had all this love energy going. And I'll find that, and I'll bring that up just that little bit on Thursday. But we had all this love energy going, all this love energy going. One person after the other, reacting, one with a heart, one with a rainbow, so just all this love back and forth. We were reacting to Sharon, we were reacting to Regis, reacting to, somebody said something about me. It was just beautiful. It was just beautiful. And I just smiled. But because it wasn't part of what I was going to be presenting today, I had to let that go. But I couldn't resist that, Karen, me calling me her Zulma, because I call her my Karen. I couldn't resist leaving that there. So, and with that, I think I think I'm going to first save the chat, because that's what I do. and talk just a little bit more about, let's see what I'm going to talk a little bit more about. Karen put in the chat, I don't need to worry. Oh yeah, she was just continuing with that quote, I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent him who sent me. I don't have to worry about what to do or what to say because he who sent me will direct me. I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal. As I let him teach me to heal. Not my words, but the Father who sent me. Not me, but the Father who sent me. Giving time for that the Holy Spirit thought system to work, to operate, to do what it's supposed to do what I let it do, to be willing to listen to it, to unblock my peace, to willing to unblock that which is holding me from keeping me from having my peace, willing to unblock that which is preventing me from expressing love, however I'm expressing love, recognizing that I'm expressing love. That's what I want to do. Express and extend love. It doesn't always come the way we want it to, but it always comes because it's all love. And that's the thing to remember, that no matter what, and that's the point that Regis was making. It's always, always God, no matter what it is, whether it's a flower or a knife, whether it's uh, um, a smile or cancer, regardless, it's all God. It's all God. It's all God. And our problem is wanting to think that if it's good, it's God, and if we like it, it's God, and if we don't like it, it's not. But it's all just part of life. It's all lessons that life would have us learn, all lessons that God would have us learn. It is. It simply is. It simply is. Um, I'll share a slide right there. Last week before, when Karen was teaching, these came up, and they're coming up again. Trials. Let's see if I can put this in slideshow mode so you can see it better. Trials are but lessons that we fail to learn presented once again. So where we made a faulty choice before, we can now make a better one, and thus escape all pain that what I chose before has brought to me. I am making choices all the time. The aim of the goal of the course is peace. My aim then is peace. And the example we just gave was sometimes you just have to put your hand up and say, stop, peace. Learning devices are not lessons in themselves. Their purpose is merely to facilitate learning. The body, my body, your body, the things I see, the things I hear, the things I smell, taste, and touch are not lessons in themselves. They facilitate learning. All things are lessons that God, life, spirit, truth, love would have me learn. Truth is. A false fact is neither person, place, nor thing to the one who uncovers it. And once uncovered, it has no place in which to hide. The illusion, seen and understood, is made negative in the experience of the one who suffered by it. We recognize that illusions are exactly that. They are illusions. We recognize that we can turn away from the condition. That's what Regis said. Stop. Turn away from the condition. I don't have to jump in and be ready to fight and ready to argue. I don't have to do that. But I may. I may. It may be my call for love as well. I just may. And the course teaches the truth must be all inclusive if it is to be truth at all. So God is. That's the truth. It's not God is this, but not that. God is all inclusive. God is truth, and it's all inclusive. If it's to be truth at all, God then must be all inclusive. It is to be God at all, except no opposites. It's not this or that. It's not good or bad. It's not, I like it, I don't. Well, it is. I like it and I don't like it, but that doesn't make it any less God. Whether I like it, if I like it, it's God. If I don't like it, it's still God. Except no opposites and no exceptions. For to do so is to contradict the truth entirely, is to say that there must be a God and. But there is no God and. Salvation is the recognition that the truth is true and nothing else is true. So grateful for this extra half hour. And I am now, oops, I didn't mean to do that. And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stop the share. I am going to give thanks to Lynn, to Karen, to Regis, to Hazel, to Michaela, Mickey, who was here for a while. For those in the Pal Talk room, thank you, thank you, thank you. Love your family.
Love
See
you
ya.
too.
Love you too. Thank you so much.